Since the start of the year, Moscow's taken 654 square kilometres of Ukrainian territory, about 250 square miles. And they've seized a third of that this month alone. Several big cities, which are also military hubs for Ukraine, such as Kostiantynivka, Kramatorsk and Sloviansk, could be threatened if this momentum continues. And Moscow's creeping advance near Chasiv Yar, once a mining town with 150,000 residents, could put key roads that Ukraine uses to resupply its troops in range of Russian guns. Then there's what looks like an impending assault on Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city. So why is this happening? What's changed? The biggest reason is the sheer weight of troops and materiel Russia is now bringing to bear. In some parts of the front line, it's got 5, even up to 20 times the number of soldiers as Ukraine. According to a report by the UK think tank RUSI, Moscow now has 510,000 troops in Ukraine, and it's continuing to recruit 20 to 30,000 troops a month. It's lost a lot of its officers and better trained troops, and that's limited the size of the attacks it can mount. But it's now using these platoon and company-sized assaults to its advantage by launching them simultaneously at lots of different points along the front line, from Belgorod and Sumy in the north, right down to Zaporizhzhia in the south. That's stretching the Ukrainian troops and thinning out what limited artillery ammunition they do have, as they desperately wait for this $61 billion of US aid to show up. Another reason is the deterioration of Ukraine's air defences, particularly SAMs, surface-to-air missiles. Ukraine is managing to shoot down Russian drones and missiles, but many more are getting through. And without the threat of getting shot down, Russian jets are flying closer to the front line, dropping hundreds of deadly glide bombs like these, with more accuracy against Ukrainian defences. Just like artillery shells, the lack of air defence also means the Ukrainians are having to make a choice about what they use them against. Unsurprisingly, top of the list is those Russian jets. But that means they're not being used against Russian drones, and that, says the RUSI paper, is reason number 3 for Russia's recent gains. Moscow's sending large numbers of drones over Ukrainian positions, looking for targets. It's got much better at launching dynamic missile strikes, hitting targets very quickly before the Ukrainians have time to move. The RUSI paper says they've even hit Ukrainian helicopters on the ground while they were refuelling. Ukraine and its supporters say this didn't need to happen. If Kyiv had received the military aid it needed earlier, they could have kept the Russians on the back foot. So will these Russian advances continue? Well, the RUSI paper predicts they will attack Kharkiv, Zaporizhzhia and also push in the Donbass. But along with these gains, Russia's also suffered staggering losses of men and equipment. The Russian military wants to win this war as fast as it can because they know there is a finite supply of both. But right now, the war has reached an inflection point. Moscow has the momentum, almost certainly ahead for Ukraine, some of the most difficult months of this war. Simon Newton, Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.